Hello, people. Let me get my chat laptop, aka the chat top. Oh, why is Photoshop so ass? Can I not? Oh, there we go. Do the same thing here. Is this animation? Let's just see if there's a better level for this. Maybe this one. Oh no, I've got the text that says screenshot. Like, yeah, we need to not render that when you're taking another screenshot. But we do, but we do. Okay, this one's kind of terrible. That one's readable. This one, the fucking atmospherics make it really not very green, which is one of the things we want. Like, this is better color-wise, so... Let's try it here. And we'll keep the camera angle kind of downish because that's what is, whoops, that's what is recognizable. Try that. That's, so the color there is way better. Didn't, just expand it down. Okay. Have I heard of ezetimibe, an alternative to statins? No, but I thought nattokinase got rid of arterial plaque they discovered. How do you wish list the game 100 times? You make 100 Steam counts, I guess. Or something. The natto study was weak. What? What? I don't know. I don't know any detail. I just heard that. So I don't know any details. All right, so wizard is a weird one because we want to get an image of him. It's going to be odd. Yeah. Let's just go all the way over here. Do this and get some teleport lines. Go back. And we'll just get an image of him here as well. And we're just going to do something, something. Something, something. So this one's going to go. Warrior. Thief. So here, I don't know, we'll just magic wand this. And we'll Control Shift I delete. Right? And then, okay. It's really the wrong scale. Really terrible. Looks awful. I took the screenshot at the wrong time because we want it to be conspicuously at least a little bit blue. But what we're doing right now, we're mainly doing the programming. So if it looks a little weird, that's fine. Okay. Boom, boom. Merge layers. Okay. What are we doing here? Well, when you go through wardrobes, which are objects that give character powers, right now we have some temporary text that says, you got the wizard outfit or whatever, right? And so instead of text, I want to do the programming where we put a bitmap and I'm making the bitmaps temporary, and the art team will, of course, do a better version of these later. Um, and then that temporary text will be gone, and that's one step closer to being ready to ship the game. So we got wizard. Spoilers. Spoilers. Oh, that level is pretty recently arted. Okay. Hey, I forgot we have a goblin with a nose ring, just like Zoomer girls. Let's look for a better camera angle. Why didn't I? Oh. Like, I don't understand how they don't know that that's what a cow does, is have that nose ring. Like, that's. Do they. Do kids these days just not know cows because they've never seen a cow? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Just like that GameStop girl they rehired. I am not following any kind of GameStop drama. So I don't really know to what we are referring here. All right. We want a thing where he doesn't. All right, let's get Bard since we're here. Fucking lighting on these levels, dude. Okay, this one's pretty normal. So I kind of want loot with music in front. It's going to be hard to get. I mean, the scale is way off. So we could get them separately. We could get music. And then we could get tolerance 100, totally meaningless tolerance. I think it's in like RGB pixels or whatever. All right. So Control Shift I, delete. Um, Control A, eraser. You guys remember that movie, Eraser, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, whose only cultural contribution is showing the Quake 3 arena guys how to do a cool railgun. All right. Good enough. You thought a horse was a cow. All right. That is a problem I've never heard of. All right, let's try to get a bard, or sorry, a druid without shitty lighting and on a level with art, which, all right. I also wanted one where he's facing this way. I guess I can just move the camera down here. The lighting here is really unfortunate though. The camera angle is to his back, but it's fine. These are temporary. These are temporary. We're going to go here. We're going to slow down. We're going to go whoops. See, the key binds, when you say what direction to go, it remaps those directions based on actual in-game camera, but with this cheat camera, it doesn't do that. So I hit left and it went right. Boop. All right. Let's try again. Nope. I want to get like the circle. Boop. Something like that. Okay, that's good. So that's for the heroes. Let's go see. What file are these in? It's in move transactions. All right. So I believe there's no retain pushing anymore, by the way. Retain pushing 2 to 3 deprecated. All right. Okay, so get skill description from flags. We're going to turn this into something that gives a bitmap, right? Okay, yeah, we need. I don't think we have trader. We do have sailor. Wait, this is wrong right here. So obviously we don't even do this one anymore. Not currently in the game. Oh wait, it's down here. That's okay. But not currently in the game. That was a little bit of a copy pasta error. I've all heard that Nintendo is remaking the same Star Fox game. So when I was a kid, I never had a Nintendo console. I had a friend or two who did, but like I just never had one. So I never played Star Fox. I have no memories of Star Fox. So they announced a new one. I'm like, all right. But a lot of people seem to be hyped about that. So that's good. Is Star Fox the game where they keep saying like do a barrel roll, or is that something else? That's the only thing I know about Star Fox is do a barrel roll. Okay. So there's also, however, so from this we need, let's just do these one at a time. We need sailor and gemsuit, and then we need to do uh the ones that are not character powers, of which I think I want like this kind of angle to show the suit. Bro. Bro! Photoshop is so bad. All right. Okay. Druid. Gemsuit. Um. Okay. Then we need skipping stones. This is a fine location. Oh, let's get her this way. Pause. Oh, I did it again. Oops. I did it again. Okay, that's not. Oh, all right. Let's just try this. Oops. I did it again. I put a ring in my nose. Girls who put nose rings, that's a terrible angle. Let's try taking that again. The nose ring girls don't, they're probably too young to even know what song that is. know what I'm talking about? What the fuck is that animation? Why is she putting her hands together? Is that the normal animation? I guess so. Maybe I requested that at some point. Who knows? So many things happen over the course of a video game. Dude, what okay, we somehow fat fingered something that doesn't undo. So is this like a view mode? What? Control Alt undo. No. No, it doesn't. Okay, so it didn't change the image mode. Control Y. Control Y is not doing anything. Okay, so it was like a layer select something. All right, crisis averted. Crisis averta Williams. All right, so Sailor. Does anyone know where I could find some sailors? Um, was that a Shenmue joke? No, that's literally the entire game of Shenmue. Is you walk around and say, "Does anyone know where I could find some sailors?" Does anyone know where I could find some sailors? It's another Zork reference. No. Literally, okay, the entire game of Shenmue is you start, you spend an hour walking around your apartment to like get some object and it's really slow. And then you walk through the park and you get like attacked by bullies or something and you have a quick time event for punching. And then the rest of the game is you talk to every single person in the town and there's lots of loading as you go into the buildings and stuff. You talk to every single person in the town and say, "Does anyone know where I could find some sailors?" And nobody knows where you could find sailors actually in this town, except if you find the one, and of course, you can't find the right person you're supposed to talk to, and you're just loading back and forth through all these things, and you've tried like every NPC 3 times, and then finally there's like some weird alley that you missed with a little doorway, and you go in there and there's a grandma, and you ask the grandma, "Do you know where I could find some sailors?" And she's like, "You could try down at the docks." And then that unlocks the docks because the old lady suggested that to you. Your guy, who's lived in this small Japanese town his entire life, apparently doesn't know about the docks or something. I don't know. And the old lady says maybe you should look at the docks to find sailors. Maybe you should go to a bar at the docks. And that is Shenmue, everybody. You have to get pointed to the old grandma first. I don't remember that. That might be. I just remember I could not find whatever I talked to every person like 3 times, like going in fact, so there's the part of the town that's the later game where you find out about the sailors, but I've talked to everybody like 3 times, so then I'm going all the way back to like the start of the game and trying to find people to talk to there. It took forever, dude. Okay. I believe, yeah, it was a Dreamcast game. It was like the system seller Dreamcast game. All right. It's not just any Dreamcast game. This was like, oh my God, people went crazy for this game. Can't deal with the AI vibe code culture. Well, you know what? Neither can I. So, you know. All right. So we got Sailor. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Okay, this thing. I think we still need to work on that a little bit, but better than it was. All right. We're going to have to flip that vertically to get rid of the disturbing perspective. I thought I could right click on this and say flip vertically. I mean, obviously you can do it on the whole image, but I thought you control T. Maybe it has to be here. Oh, it probably has to be here. There we go. Look how much less, look at that. Well, look how wrong that looks. Look how much better that looks. All right. Cool. Um, where's the downstairs? Oh, there it is. All right, well, come on. Where is it? That's not it. It's over there. Boop. 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 Okay. Is that so? We got all the characters. There's no trader. So we're gonna comment that out, I think. Charm, transmute, protection, teleport, pull, multi-push. All right. Uh skill description from wardrobe. Oh, we just straight up print the inventory flag. Okay, so that's fine. We'll work on that. Anyway, so let us now save these out. Ping. Oh, you got to say export. You can't save anymore. Wardrobe torque. I forget. You could like record this as a macro, but it's just not. It's just not worth it for 10 things. I did learn how to do that at one point. Oh shit, I'm not. File, export. Quick export is Penagid. Wardrobe rod, save. I hope someone in chat caught that. Export, Penag. Penag. Oh, I kind of had the characters, but we could, well, we'll keep these around for a bit, but I knew that I had done these before. I think I did these on stream even, but anyway. Where is it? VW wardrobe sailor. Right? Okay, export as here. Oh, I can do this. Oh, nice. That's a little faster. It's a lot faster, actually. I mean, I probably don't need to change the image even, but I'm going to anyway because I'm only paranoid survive. Okay, that was an extra one that snuck in. Nope. Okay, well, we made progress, regardless of what happens next. Add, commit, add wardrobe bitmaps. Boom. Export layers to files. Well, okay. Okay. Lest we forget, let us now um, put these in HUD wardrobe bitmap name string dot. Okay, we're just gonna warrior, thief, wizard, priest, this bard, druid, rod, torque. We'll put those at the end. Gem suit, sailor. Has anyone seen any sailors? Okay, and then in manifest, we need to make sure these get packed. Thought there would be okay. So how's it going, everybody? All right, so when we go through a wardrobe, we are gonna have a thing that's like the faders, but we're gonna have wardrobe images, wardrobe image, wardrobe status. I don't know. Statuses. What is a wardrobe status? Colon struct. Mode enum u8. Enabled. I don't know. Add, remove. Something like that. Bitmap name is a string. Killed is false on T. Zero. And then, all right. We're just going to copy code from the faders. I just kind of like ran out of energy like 5 minutes ago, which was weird. I mean, it's Saturday, right? So, what is you wish list of the game? Thank you. We appreciate it. Putting in the system to monetize hats. Well, not exactly. Not exactly. That's not exactly what we're doing. Do you still have the awesome honey? Yeah, I ate all the awesome honey from whenever you're talking about, but I have more. You know what? Let's eat some awesome honey as a pep boost. Now, I do have here right in front of me the double propolis honey, but I actually want a whipped cinnamon honey, so to speak. I mean, I've had that before, but you know. Some tea with it? Maybe. I don't know if I want caffeine this late at night. I am actually getting up in the morning to go to a tea ceremony. It starts so early in the morning, so, you know. Still drinking Golden Monkey lately. I drink Golden Monkey mainly when I'm at home, but I actually drink most tea outside of the house because I'm just like trying to get out during the day, right? And at all these places around here, certainly I don't know anywhere that serves gold. Actually, I there might be one place that serves Golden Monkey, but it's not a nice atmosphere in there. Um, so I end up drinking like English breakfast or something. What's a tea ceremony? Well, it depends on. There are quite a few kinds of tea ceremonies. The one that I'm going to is basically just about being contemplative while drinking tea. English breakfast is bad? No, it's just not my favorite. But also, though, any random cafe that you go to, the tea probably isn't that good. I mean, look, I make better tea at home than anywhere I go. I make better chai lattes at home than anywhere I go. But you go out to go out, you know? How long do you boil the tea? What? You don't boil tea. You boil water. When the water is boiling, you put it on the tea. You don't boil tea, bro. That that would be some nasty ass tea. Sounds expensive, dude. Well, I live in a kind of an expensive place because I just wanted to live in a first world country like the country that I was born in. So, you know, first world locations are becoming scarcer. But I found one that I like and I live there right now. Who knows how long it will remain a first world country? Will it be on Android later? I mean, we have to just figure these things out. They all got lazy and give you microplastic cups. Oh God. I mean, I still have this problem. So even if you go somewhere that has for here cups, sometimes they don't care or don't pay attention that you ordered it for here, or sometimes it's like late in the day and so they give you a microplastic cup anyway because they just want plastic in your balls. And I don't want to be a Karen about it, so I just don't drink the tea in those cases. I'm just like, all right, we just lost this one. We just bought a drink to be polite, and we're going to sit here and not drink it. Think I'd like Cayenta. I've never heard of Cayenta. Town in Arizona. Literally never heard of that. When I'm looking at images online, I see a lot of cool looking desert landscapes. A place in southern Utah. Okay, there must be more than one because the search said Arizona. A ritzy rich people. Let's learn. It's a educational stream. Cayenta, Utah. Well, wait, that the southwest corner of Utah. Let's look at it on the maps. I'm actually getting hungry. I just had a hamburger, dude. But I did Tai Chi for half an hour in the freezing park. So, oh wow, dude, this place is what? This is not a place where people live. Oh, I guess there's some houses over here. Okay, where is this? My Utah knowledge is not. So I've been here, I've been here, I've been up through here, this sort of zigzag. I don't think I've been down here like at all. I mean, obviously, I've been to Las Vegas, obviously, so that's the closest I've been there. There are very few places with good cities. That is true. There used to be more in the US. And then we decided it's illegal to have good cities, so uh, you know, you know, so we're just gonna straight up copy this. Dude, I am hungry. Gold Beach, Oregon. I've never been there. Texas has good cities. I mean, what in Texas is a good city? What do I mean illegal to have good cities? I mean that nobody is willing to stop what's been going on for the past 15, 16, 18 years. So, you know, El Paso's all right. I drove through El Paso one time and it didn't seem that interesting, but I just drove through. I didn't stay there. Did I not like Dallas? Not really. I mean, I was in Dallas. It was like the middle of COVID, and you would think that, like, oh, it's in big city in a red state, so they won't be that locked down. But it was very abandoned and boring. But I mean, I was only there for like 4 days. I mean, in Dallas proper, I spent some time in a couple other nearby places. People in power have signed laws that do not contribute to maintaining good cities. It's worse than do not contribute. It's they actively prevent your ability to have a good city for the most part. I often travel around the US sometimes. Sometimes I travel more, sometimes I travel less, you know. New Orleans, not for me. I mean, I've been there a few times for sure. I've been there a few times. This comment seems. So we had this guy on the team, and he definitely contributed some stuff, but he always, anytime he put a comment, he wanted to put his name first, which is like, I've literally never seen that be a convention. So I'm like, is that is that just him wanting to put his name on every, like, I don't know. Casey does that? Okay, so maybe, but like first, or does he sign it at the end? Note Casey. All right, well, at least there the first word is note. You went to the French Quarter? Yeah, I've been to the French Quarter a couple times. I mean, French Quarter is just like, it's the tourist thing, right? It's not really a place you would hang out if you live there, I'm sure. It's allegedly so you know who to ask if you wrote a bad comment. I mean, you can SVN blame or get blame to find out who wrote something. So, you know, I kind of, I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I sign comments when they seem especially important, but I sign and date them at the bottom when I do that. So, but I'm not fully consistent about it. All right. So, I mean, I don't know what the body of this function is going to be. Unit scale. That doesn't sound right. Anyway, why are we newing faders? That's kind of stupid. That's how you can tell when code is really old, is that I'll new stuff when I put it in arrays and whatever. And at some point I'm like, oh, if your arrays are good, you just don't need to do that. Oh. All right. So I guess we could. Let's have an elapsed time. Um, right. And then I just kind of don't use using as a feature. This feature I put in the language, I don't use it that much. Do I think it makes a lot of sense to bring meaningful value to have all the pointers in C++ be constant? No. No. It's like it I think it maybe has a small value, but the amount of hassle is very large. Like you just end up, oh, this thing was const, but now we want it to not be const. So we have to go through a 7 deep call hierarchy and unconst it when I would really rather be doing real work. It's usually confined to the low status zones of the cities. No, it's not. Not in California, for example. And it didn't used to be that way in most of these places. So, like, why would that make it okay somehow? Okay, so we're going to have an elapsed time. And for now, we're just going to do an alpha value. We probably want to do something more sophisticated than that in the shader eventually. But for now, we're just going to have an alpha value. Let's say fade in time is going to be 0.7 seconds, sustain time 2 seconds, fade out time 1.0, right? Something like that. I don't know. So Um, okay. So we're going to have an alpha value, and if we're in the beginning, we're less than fade time. Alpha equals elapsed divided by fade in time, right? Here it's going to be alpha equals 1. And here it's going to be t is elapsed minus fade in time plus sustained time. Alpha equals 1 minus t divided by fade out time. Clamp alpha, please. I mean, we'll do that. We'll do this down here just for paranoia reasons. Okay, and then so if alpha is equal to 0, return true. All right. And then, I mean, all this is gonna be, it's indented, but we're gonna comment this out. Because the position where we draw this is gonna be a different thing. Okay. Well, oh, we had the game running this whole time. Let's see if we compile wardrobe statuses. Yes. Boom. Manifest. Oh. Right, we gotta look that up. Or just set it to true, I guess. Never mind. Draw status. Time started. Right. Okay. This will still literally do nothing because nothing ever creates a wardrobe status. And even if it did, we wouldn't put a wardrobe status on the screen. I'm going to grab a drink. Back in a second. I'm glad you enjoyed The Witness. I'm glad you liked the game. Good times. Good times. All right. So, I just sort of hit a lull in my brain momentum, my brain mentum. I was thinking while I grabbed this drink that I had been assuming that we were going to draw this as like a 2D card over the character's head. But now I'm thinking, even though it's a HUD item, it's probably best if you drew it as though it were at that position in 3D. But then either you just don't depth test it, so it ends up on top, or you do the thing where you like cheat the vertices exactly toward the camera so that it's close. I think we just have a shader where we don't depth test it, but you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Do you resize it from how far away the wardrobe is? No, I mean I think the goal would be to just have it float above the character as though it were an object. It's not related. This doesn't. This is like representing character abilities, so we don't draw it on the wardrobe object. We would draw it on the character. Do I think the new UFO stuff is real? I mean, I tweeted about this, dude. If the government does not have one clear picture of a UFO that they are willing to release, like as clear as this camera that I'm talking to you through, which is very cheap compared to what they have at their disposal, then they can just fuck off, dude. Like, come on, guys. You do that somewhat haphazardly, and you probably have to change how you're doing it at a slight angle and involves a rotating piece. And it just looks slightly misaligned. Well, you, I mean, this is a little bit weird, but you can rotate it toward the camera. It's pretty easy to figure out how to do that. I mean, that's, when you do a particle system, you do billboards that are facing the camera at all times. I guess, though, I don't necessarily want to do that. Okay. That's the thing, though. The I guess what I was thinking in my head was like a vertically oriented thing, but you're looking at the character from above all the time. So that's not going to work. So we are going to have to rotate it toward the camera. Yeah, I don't know. Don't Starve style. I don't know what Don't Starve does. I mean, I played that, but do you have a background thread that submits stuff to the GPU? Um, basically. I actually, the details have changed somewhat lately, and I am not keeping up with them because I am very busy on all this other stuff for the game. Well, you remember when The Witness first came out? So do I. So do I. Yeah, my brain kind of doesn't want to work right now anymore, but I don't know what else I want to do. So we'll keep going a little bit. We may not take this all the way to visuals tonight. Um, but let's at least do some cowabunga oriented programming where we uh we at least create these and make sure, like, we want to make sure that we create these data structures and that they tick down and disappear, and then we'll do the graphics a different time. That sounds good because it all everything else aside from the graphics is pretty easy. um that said, well, here where we did this thing, we're going to go to HUD. We're going to say get bitmap name from skill flags. Okay, and we're also going to have get bitmap name from inventory flags, and we're going to have volatile all these strings, all these bitmap names must be in wardrobe bitmap names. Okay, so I should come up with a better name for this than volatile, because that doesn't really it's just like there's a constraint that we're not explicitly enforcing, but if you break it, the game will have a bad time, right? You know what I'm talking about? Okay. Okay, so return wardrobe warrior. Return wardrobe thief. Return wardrobe wizard. Return wardrobe priestess. Druid. Does anyone know where I could find some sailors? Okay. 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 Does that compile? Brittle. Yeah, brittle is a better name probably. Because volatile implies it's just going to explode. Let's try that. It reminds me of peanut brittle. Is the game releasing tonight? No. No, it is not. Fragile. It's a major award. It's a major award. Okay. So we can go back here. We're going to say um, all right. If bitmap start wardrobe status card bitmap true. Okay. And the true is going to be the donning and the doffing, right? And we're just going to be a little redundant about that. False. False. And do that. Well, no. So we need to pass the true or false. All right. So start wardrobe status card is a function that currently does not exist. Okay, so we'll put this down at the bottom. Okay, so we're going to go for wardrobe statuses. If old.bitmap name is equal to bitmap, old.killed equals true. So that'll just cause those to fade out really fast because we want to do something else. Yeah, we're going to need... All right. So if new is array add wardrobe status says new dot donning equals donning, new dot bitmap name equals bitmap. Okay, that's pretty good. All right. We also probably want to reset these on a new level and stuff. They maybe should be on the entity manager. I'm going to put them on the entity manager because like anything like rather than having a bunch of cleanups of global variables when you go into and out of a level, there's just on the entity manager. It's just a way to keep it organized and cleaned up. Okay. So wardrobe statuses. Nudges per frame Z sorted oceans. All right, mirages. These strings are all in read-only memory, so we don't need to copy or free them. Array reset wardrobe statuses. I mean, that's it. That's it. Okay, I'm sure we have errors. Inventory flags, okay. I hope chat caught that. We did it again. Oops, I did it again. Wardrobe statuses. Okay, so draw. So here, if status.killed elapsed DT. Let's make sure we have the same DT for everybody. All right. Max alpha seems like some supplement at GNC. Status.killed elapsed divided by kill time. All right. Cool, Daddy-O. That was sort of what I wanted to get done. This is the... Oh, except we want to cowabunga a little bit. So we're going to go... Let's just... let's do this. That might be enough, because we can see that it counts up or down or whatever. All right. 0 wardrobe statuses, that's fine. There's no wardrobes there. It's a dig on B natural. That was one of the better episodes of Mystery Science Theater, was Mr. B Natural. Spoilers. Wardrobe statuses. Okay, it's not going away. Oh, it did. It just took a long time. So the kill is short. Yeah, I guess it takes like 3 seconds. It's probably a little long, but it's working. We just need to take down the timers a little bit. 2 seconds is a long time. Oh, you know what? We actually don't. We just want to. We just want to get rid of all the old ones. We don't care if it's like the same wardrobe or not. That doesn't make sense. Okay. So I think that we maybe take the W on this. Right? Right. And then incomplete. Draw. Maybe we'll play some cards to refresh the brain, and then maybe we'll go back to putting something on the screen. Okay. Hopefully we didn't leave a note check-in. Out of date. Out of date. All right, let's get some cards going to refresh the brain in the membrane. Publisher or no publisher for your first game? You have a good offer, but okay. It depends on how much you give up. Like, I'm assuming there's some kind of development funding attached, but what do they want for that? Right? Hopefully these days it is standard enough that you're not like giving them the IP or even giving them an eternal publishing deal, right? Like any publishing deal you sign should have a time frame attached where the game returns to you, and that time frame could be long enough that it seems like a really long time and they don't care past that time frame. It could be, 6, 8, 10 years, whatever, but you want a time frame. All right. um and you know you want, obviously, like, the game's yours, so they shouldn't be able to take it from you according to the terms of the deal. Yeah, you don't want a deal that says that they can, you know, tell you how the game needs to be, make the main character purple or whatever. So it just depends on that. Like, deal or no deal for a publisher depends on that. What I would say is, if, and also, like, what's the revenue split, right? For some level of revenue split, if they're a good publisher, they will help you more than the split that they take. And so it's a win-win, right? If they do better at getting the game out there in the world than you would, then you essentially made money by giving them money, right? However, some publishers don't really, some publishers just don't do anything, and they're just looking at your game as, like, especially indie publishers, a lot of them are just looking at your game as a lottery ticket, and they're like, well, we won't do anything to help this game much, and if it's a hit, then we'll take our slice of that, and if it's not, then nobody cares because we didn't spend any money supporting it. You don't want that kind of a deal, right? Obviously, I kind of want to do this 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 gold, but this 4 kind of got nowhere to go. Hello, rating people. We're playing cards for a little bit as a break. We're probably going to go back to programming for a little bit after this, although it is 10 p.m. on a Saturday night. Do you think it's better to learn game programming by diving into creating one complex game you really want to make, or start with much simpler? No, you definitely need to start with much simpler projects because games are really hard. You need to understand this. Games are really hard. They're way harder than you think. So if you start with like a cool, really complicated game, it's going to be a disaster. You're never going to get it done. You're going to die alone and sad and bleed out on the ice, right? So you need to keep it simple to start. That's just everybody with game experience will tell you that. Everybody with game experience will tell you that. What does the release day look like from your perspective? It's not like release day for a game is kind of chill because it's finally out there in the world, and it's not like you're cranking out physical copies of the game. It's like up and people are getting it. So it's a nice time, but it's also, you got to be ready to support the game and responsive to bugs that people have and all sorts of things like that. Do you expect many bugs on release? Not really. Would it be better to copy an existing game to learn concepts? I think that that's a good way to go. I mean, you can copy something and put a little bit of your own flair on it, right? But you might think like, oh, copying something isn't very okay. We're gonna YOLO this, by the way, a little bit. You might think like, oh, copying something is not very creative and whatever, but there's a lot to be said for removing the need to be creative a little bit because there's already just a lot to think about, right? And if you have to be creative also while you're learning to program, your game might not go very well because you didn't succeed at having big creative ideas, right? So just make it as doable as you can. It's hard. Game programming is hard. It's, you know, It's the most challenging kind of programming in the world, I think. A lot of people will say, "Oh, that can't possibly be true. What about like medical or whatever?" But like the seriousness of a domain does not have that much to do with how hard it is. Games are just they're just the hardest kind of programming, and so you just got to be ready for that. But that's also what makes it cool. It's like, "Oh, I'm able to do this thing that's like really difficult. Wow, that's neat." And so, yeah, Carmack took a break from game programming to go do rocket science, and he called it a break. Yep. Well, he was doing both at the same time for a while. I think, at least nominally. I don't know what his actual workday looked like during that time, but he was definitely at least nominally at id and Armadillo at the same time. I don't know what to do here. We did that YOLO, it worked out, and now we're stuck again, dude. We need this 20 to go somewhere. You can pop green 3 through 7. 3. Oh, yeah, because we can flip this back on the 15. Good. Good call. That probably wins us the game right there. That probably wins us the game. Okay. So that's green 8 is new. I don't love that. Well, 9, 10 jack, and then 10 on the 9. Eh. It might be time to do this 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 finally. And then we could, so that puts the 4 in here, which is not great, but we could put the king on the queen and get the 8. And then we have somewhere to put the, I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to think it through. Let's just do it. King on the queen, and then this. And that's a bit of a, oh, we just put that there. Okay, yeah, we won. We won this. We won this. I mean, the 2019 are counter. They're countering each other. Well, let's get this queen off. Let's get the queen off. Let's get this on. Protect ourselves from the devil. You must always protect yourself from the devil. Yeah, we're done. We're done here. We're done here. Okay. Easy clap. We're going to get the wheel probably. That's not a bad card. All right. Break time over. Maybe we just try to get something on the screen now. And then the next stream is... Oh, wait. We couldn't... We never took the W on this. I forgot about that. It was like we started the cards during the update and never did it. You wouldn't want to stack creativity while learning. Yeah, I mean, one of these traps that people get into, and I think they're kind of subliminally doing it on purpose. even though they don't realize it, is like they just come up with all these reasons why they need advice in order to get started as a way to just not get started. You know? And the truth is, like, look, if you're doing something that's high consequence, like, oh, I'm going to put all my savings into some startup or something, you probably should think pretty hard about how that's going to go. But like, if you're just chilling and learning game programming with some of your spare time, that is not a high consequence activity. I mean, it could be high in positive consequence because you added a skill that you get to do later and stuff, but it's not a high, uh, there's not much chance for disaster there, right? So you don't need to think that hard about it. You don't need to worry about it. You just try learning some stuff. If it doesn't work out, you try it different. If it doesn't work out, you try it different. It's really like everybody you've ever heard of who is notable in the game industry just decided to start doing it because they felt like it. That's literally just all it is. You don't need permission. In fact, if somebody somehow has to give you permission, you're doing something really wrong. How much carryover would developing a board game have for a video game? You're more limited in what you could do, but you still have to build a gameplay loop, victory conditions. I mean, I would say it is partially applicable. So schools, back before you had like Unity game engine and stuff, when schools would teach game design. So when I learned game design, there weren't any schools teaching it, but after that, schools started teaching it. And because they figured programming was hard, they would often have students do this thing where they would like paper prototype a game, right? And that's just like where you write the rules on paper and graphics and whatever, and people sit down and play. And that's a little bit different from what you're talking about. And I think paper prototyping is less successful, actually. I think it's better if you're going to do that, you should go into it knowing that you're just designing a board game and design a board game, right? And then yes, the skills, you build those skills about thinking about how players are going to interact with this rule set and what they're going to want to be doing in various situations, all these things. Yeah, if you've never done that before, those are valuable skills. It's just the way that universities did it is kind of messed up because you would be designing something that had to be played as a board game, but you're like kind of still pretending it's a video game, and that doesn't work. And when there's a lot of pretending, that's actually bad because being good at design is about being able to objectively evaluate how good are your current design decisions and are they working and all that. And like the more that you're in this mindset of pretending that something is something that it's not, um, the more you're not really in the mindset of realistic evaluation, right? But yeah, like if you know it's a board game and you're like, look, I'm just going to design a board game again to have this design exercise. So we just talked about factoring out being creative, like factoring out having to deal with frickin' computers is pretty valuable actually, because computers are really annoying, especially when you have to program them and get them to do things. So yeah, I think that could be a good route. Playing games is like driving a car. You don't get to see what's making it run. I mean, that's true, but also there's different kinds of people. Like some people will play a ton of games and just never think about it. It's like me with food. I go to restaurants, I eat the food, I'm not thinking, how would I cook this food? It's just not what I do, right? And that's probably most people's relationship with games, but some people play a game and they just like absorb it more, right? And that's just like a different mindset. Okay, do we draw this in the world? I feel like the answer is yes. I feel like we draw it in the world and we rotate it toward the camera and we see how that goes. Now, anytime you're going to do something like that, um, of course, it's easier to work toward that goal incrementally. It's very easy to figure out how to draw a bitmap facing up at the character's feet. And once that is successfully on the screen, then we can place it and rotate it toward the camera. Is releasing on something like itch.io a good idea? I mean, you're not going to make any money releasing something on itch. All right. So it's like, do you want to give the game out for free and just have a way of distributing it? Or even, or not for free, and you're just not going to sell that many copies? Then itch is fine. If you want to like sell copies, it's got to be on Steam, or maybe you self-host it, I guess. I don't know. It'd be a demo to get player feedback. Okay. I mean, itch is probably fine for a demo. It's just, how do I say this? Okay, the first part is easy to say. Itch will get you some number of people, not a huge number of people, right? But some people might notice your game on itch. But you probably have to get the word out anyway, but it'll just give you a way to distribute the demo. But how do I say the second part? I mean, itch has a certain category of people. Not that it's exactly like Reddit or anything like that, but the people who go on itch to look for a demo are not regular everyday people for the most part. You know what I'm talking about? Okay. We already do a thing. We have draw protected status somewhere. Draw may be protected. All right, so I'm actually going to maybe move this into there. Here's what we'll even do. We'll do an update. Do an update wardrobe statuses. And we'll do that in simulate. Cosmetic only things. Once per frame, we are gonna, at the bottom of simulate cos. Very large function at this point. It's what happens when you work on a game a long time. Update wardrobe statuses. All right, so this is just an update function now. Let's put the alpha on the thing then. All right. Okay. Do we compile? Well, not quite. Update wardrobe status. Okay, so draw may be protected. Let's do that. So the start wardrobe status card is going to take the guy. Going to have an entity ID on there. That's going to be up there. Okay, draw wardrobe status. Status says for manager to wardrobe statuses, draw wardrobe status. It actually, I think probably, yeah, okay. E is fine. Oh, the manager. Find manager status.entity ID if no entity return. Otherwise, we could just literally copy all this code, which we know works. Okay. And then just put it here. So this will draw the protection effect. And then once that's on the screen, we could change the bitmap to the wardrobe bitmap. And then once that's working, yeah. Let me make an array here. Dude, yeah. So at startup, we're going to load these into here. Okay. For wardrobe bitmaps, if it is equal to bitmap, then new dot bitmap equals, wait, wardrobe bitmap names equals wardrobe bitmaps it index rake found is false, found equals true, if bang found log error start wardrobe status card of unhandled bitmap name whatever bitmap. All right, so that's fine. In fact, let's look this up while we're doing this. Protection bit, what is it called? Protected texture. Where is that loaded? Protected texture, protect, attack, game. For wardrobe bitmap names, ref assign wardrobe bitmaps it index find texture catalog it. Dude, we just have the best for loops in the universe, all right? Okay. So, okay, I pasted this into the wrong function. All of this is meant to go there. All right, get protection DZ. Find type manager guy. All right. Okay. Nobody is calling this. So we got to call this draw maybe protected. All right. All right. Well, we got to not be, well, I could make a level. Instead of loading overworld every time in debug, I could just add some wardrobes to this level, actually. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. Screw it. Your reflex shoot the flying pig game that you released. Listen, you got to start somewhere. Got to start somewhere. Okay. We're going to do that. Going to do that. Going to do here. And we're just going to do this till this is reasonable, and then we'll test the other ones as well. Okay, well, I don't see anything. Oh, these are backwards. Oops. Why? Okay. So, okay. What do we do about this? Oh, you know what? I probably copied too much of the code. That's my guess. Like we're probably looking, this alpha is probably, yeah, it's lol. Um, Actually, we want status.alpha this frame. Lol. Hey, look at that. Okay, so let's do a couple things. We're only going to draw one of these. Actually, we'll draw the big one. Okay, that's weird. Hmm. Yeah, I don't get it. All right. Okay, so probably already messed something up there. Nope. All right. So pos 2.z plus equals 1.5. Look at that. It's above my head. So, like I said, we could rotate that toward the camera later, but for now, okay, now let's just say the texture is not this. It's status.texture, right? Bitmap. Now it's going to be spinning, which is going to be goofy, but you know, one step at a time. Hey, wizard. Yeah, it lasts too long. All right, so theta is 0 degrees. Just cleaning some stuff up here. CTS 3 not even used. Theta 3. Nope, don't run it. No, don't run it. Okay, so theta 0, I don't know what that means. Like, we're probably going to want to... Camera could be sideways in rare cases. Oh, it's still spinning. All right. Why is it still spinning? Oh, because there's a theta down here. So there's all sorts of things here. We won't want this interpenetrating objects as it is right now. We want some effects on it. We want it to be readable. We want it to have better graphics. But this is how everything starts, guys. Okay. So I think maybe... Like, I kind of want to leave it here because we're going on 11 p.m. We've got a thing on the screen. Oh, you know, I want to ship a playtest build. So I might even comment this out. Or maybe... Let's fix the timings. See how that feels. I mean, these bitmaps are a little bit unreadable at this scale. That's another thing. They're temporary programmer bitmaps. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, maybe we just don't do one in this case. I don't know. So maybe I'll try to do a little more. All right, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Oh. I think if I rotate, let's just say, we're using this theta z thing, which is not great. We're going to want to inline this because we want something else. So instead of this, see, then we can replace the E1 and E2 in this. Color. What did we call it? Oh, color 3. Yeah. So we can just make this be color. K. K. Star K. Can't wait to see what we've cooked. Dude, this is, some people like braids, some people like the witness. This is by far the most sophisticated, intricate, and massive game that I've ever worked on. It's freaking massive. And it's incredibly unlikely that we will ever do something this big, sophisticated, and massive again. It's like it is the peak of what I will be doing in this department, probably. Would I say going from Braid to the Witness was also a huge step up in scope? Yes. I mean, the Witness. So Braid has something like 70 puzzles, right? The Witness has, it's not a direct apples to apples, right? But the Witness has, 600 and something puzzles. But some of them are just simple little quick things, simpler than a braid puzzle, right? So it's not the 9 times the size, but it's like, you know, well, it might be, if you count playtime, it might be like 10 times the size of Braid Witness would be. And it's a 3D world and all that. It was just, Witness was a much, much more difficult and complicated game to make. And it's got a lot more stuff in it. And this game is approximately the same extrapolation. So, this game is to Witness as Witness is to Braid in terms of style and scope and complexity. Not really, there's not like a linear trace of subject matter through those 3 games or anything. But just in terms of like how much did we build? It's like that. Everyone always says that toward the end of the project. Yeah, but I can't spend 10 years on another project. Like that's not how things are going to go. All right. Anyway, so we have this showing up. So we can go our E1 instead of these, we're going to go E1 is rotate y equals 1 by manager camera orientation. E3 is vector 3 z equals 1. E2 is unit vector cross product E3, E1. I hope I could just call this cross, right? Crisscross. Crisscross. Oh, here's the first declaration. Oh, because I literally left those. All right. Okay, well it's upside down, but look, we okay, well it's actually not. It's actually not oriented toward the camera, is it? Because you can see perspective on it. Oh, well, it is horizontally. Oh, right. Okay. Because I used this is the I used world space Z. Duh. This should be rotate. Okay, wait. I think we just do that. I think we were making it too hard. Ah, good thing I drank my whole drink. Okay. Boom. Look at that. Boom. 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 These are like flipped horizontally for some reason. I know. I actually know the reason, but whoop, nope. Sometimes when we start up, like Alt is stuck down. You know. All right. So obviously, like we don't want to draw it directly on top of the character. We want to draw it over her head. This is a little too big, probably. We want bitmaps that are gonna work better, probably, etc. All right. Do a little bit of that. We also probably don't want the alpha ever to go to 1. Um, we're just going to do that. I mean, we're not really scaling this. All right. Sean Strickland won. I mean, I don't. Doesn't he win a lot of fights? Why is that weird? Okay, and then when you go out, I'm not going to do it. Um, He also says, here's the thing that's great. Crazy upset. Well, I mean, I saw the stuff that he was saying, and I saw the dude kick him. So I'm not surprised if he got in his head. Sean apologized at the end of the fight for going too hard with the promoting. I mean, he did effectively offend 2 billion people or whatever, right? So there's that. So we're gonna do kill wardrobe status cards. Kill wardrobe status cards guy. All right. So you know, if it's still fading in, but you duck out, we want it to fade out real fast. I don't really follow fighting, so I don't really know. I don't know how things should be. All right, so like that's cool. I mean, obviously the graphics are not what we want, but this is a good starting point. This is further than I necessarily intended to get tonight. Let's go to the overworld and test more wardrobe images. It's going to be nice to market game 3 because I can actually talk about what's in the game. I mean, dude, we talked about a lot in that trailer in December, although you kind of have to, or we didn't explicitly say stuff, but we said a lot in that trailer. We're going to be saying it more explicitly, though, because we're going to do other styles of trailer as we come up to launch, right? I guess we can remove this plus minus warrior wizard thief outfit now. Okay, so I mean, we can go up here and test all of them, right? So we got, whoops. We got priestess. Dude, I can't see what the fuck that is. Okay, for now, we're going to make the alpha 1.0. I think the real solution is to just have a mixed alpha in the image, right? But some things are more opaque. Bard, great. Yeah, can't tell what the fuck that is. It's fine. We'll do a real version of this. Okay, so we're going to comment all this out. Wait, what? All this get skill description is now gone. Will this run on a 1080? I hope so. How fast is it 1080? Or what? Okay, does 1080 do DirectX 12? It does, right? That should be the only real requirement. Oh! I mean, dude, 1080 Ti is a good video card. If you guys use shader model 6.6 or later, I don't know what we use. But we're trying to run, so we do run on like Intel Arc GPUs pretty well. I don't know what they support. I am not a really big fan of frame gen for my own purposes, but also I think if you don't provide it, like some people want it, right? I don't want it, but some people do want it. So my guess is that we will provide frame gen in the options. It may be turned off by default. I don't know. All right, I think we are done for the night. There's some other stuff that I'm going to want to put equivalent cards to this on. I need to think about what all those things are. Because there's some things where it would definitely be overkill. But yeah, this is pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. And so future steps on this will just be to have this be a little more creatively animated about the thing fading in and dissolving when it goes away and whatever. And figuring out how the image really looks and whatnot. Replace textual. Oh, there's one more thing we've got to test after we do the check-in. And it takes Subversion a little bit of time. All right, so one more thing to test. We didn't test the inventory flags version of this. We did these. These ones are skill flags. And we want inventory flags. Wand and torque. And I mean, it's a test thing, so we don't really need the little room, but we'll do it. Boom. Wand. I don't know why it gives me a reset prompt sometimes. Okay, that's our wand bitmap. That's our torque bitmap. So it works. It works. What was your first vision about the story or the gameplay? Definitely the gameplay. Story came much later. Story for this game I started figuring out in 2022. So it's been a while and it's changed a lot since the start. But yeah. All right. Let's see if there's someone to raid on twitch.tv. We got a raid. We got to pay it forward. Like that video of the 55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 milkshakes. You guys know that one, right? You guys know that one. I'm not seeing anything promising. I want 55 burgers, 55 fries. Dude, I'm not seeing anything. Well, this might be a thing. This guy has 99,000 gold. We'll do that. Thanks, everybody. See you later on. All the vibe coding. Yes, sir.